Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notification.
Okay guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to our YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to create and insert data into Django model. Actually, our video will cover the following parts. Part number 1 is introduction. Part number 2, creating a model. Part number 3, creating a view. And part number 4, putting view path in urls.py. So here I start with part number 1, which is introduction. So in introduction, I'm going to tell you what this home page is made up, right? So this home page is made up by index.html, background image, and a CS file, right? So let me show you the components of this home page. This is my Django project. It is named motechapp, and inside my Django project there is an app named tech, but inside motechapp project there is a template. Inside the template is where index.html is stored. So this is the template, this is the tech, then after this is index.html, right? So this is page which is rendered by Django view, right? So this is index.html, but index.html is made up, or it is supported by two dependencies. Dependency number 1 is style.css, which help us to animate our page, and dependency number 2 is image.jpg. This is our background image. I hope you know how to link static files in Django. I hope you will load the static, then after you will have to link these two. But never mind, the source code will be below my video description. So check out my video description, download the source code from GitHub, and run your project, right? So here we can see this is our form. This is CSLF token, yes, and this is form action, right? So this is still the part number 1, which is introduction, right? So let me show you a view which is rendering this index.html page. So inside my project there is an app named tech. So I open tech, then after I open file named as views.py, right? I open it. So these are the we can say libraries and modules we needed to import before we started creating views, right? So let me show you. So this function named home, it renders index.html, which is this one, right? So this is still introduction. I'm going to show you how the view of home page was added as a path in urls.py, right? So this is URL motechapp, right? URLs, and then I open it by Sublime. Here you can see this view, views.home, is a path is defined in URLs, right? So this is still introduction. Last sub part in introduction is I want to show you the setting.py, right? And here there is a few description about setting.py. So let me open motechapp setting.py, right? So here you will need to import OS, then you will need to link template directory, which is a template, and a static directory, which is static. After that you will need to add and install the app. As I told you that my app is called tech, so it is registered in installed app. After that, in templates you need to add templates underscore dir which is this one, template underscore director, right? After that, in database you need to specify name os.path join base directory. We are using SQLite 3 as our database. After that, make sure that at the bottom of your setting.py there is a static underscore URL, right? So this is an end of our introduction. We have covered how index.html is made up. We have covered a view which render index.html page, and we have covered URL which define the path of view. Then after, we have covered setting.py which colors the most important setting in a Django project. So we are done with part number 1, which is introduction. We move to part number 2, which is creating a model, right? So this is my project and this is my app, right? In my app, I find a file named as models.py, so I click it, then I open it. After that, I need to create a model, right? I need to create a model. My model is named my user. So class my user, then a bracket models dot model. Then below I need to specify what are the columns of my table, right? So I'll have about 3 columns, which is first name, second name, first name, middle name, and last name. So I start with first name. F name is equal to models dot, then a bracket max is equal to 60. Let me, yes, something like this. Then let me copy this, then I paste, So what I need to edit here is middle name, right? Then L name, which is the last name, right? Then I save it. So make sure, let me stop my Django project. Make sure that here, as you can see, in our model which is called my user, have about 3 columns: first name, middle name, and last name. And here, if we take a look at our index.html, we have about 3 input, right? We have first name, middle name, and last name. So make sure your form matches with your database column, unless otherwise you'll have wrong output, right? So that's it. After creating a model, we need to run a migration so as to make our table into existence. So here we'll run 2 Python commands, which is Python manage.py make migrations, right? After that make migrations, right? After that, we need to migrate. Make sure after creating a table in Django, you run these 2 commands for making a table into existence. So migrate, right? Then after, we can see our table is already created. Here I'm using SQLite browser to make sure I check my database tables and columns, right? So here I'm going to open my database, right? So open database, this motech, as I told you that our project is called motech and this is our app. So I open the database of our project, which is db.sqlite. Then I find a table which is my user, this one right here. I hope you can clearly see that our table have about 3 columns: the first name, middle name, and last name. So we are done with part number 2 of this tutorial. We have successfully created a model which is named my user. So we are going to part number 3 of this video after passing through introduction and model creation. So here we are going to create actually a view, right? So a view will be responsible for inserting a data received from a form into a Django models, right? So we open views.py to create a view. Yes. So here I'll create a view. Then the name of view is def insert data, right? So def insert data bracket request, yes, something like this. Then after, I need to check if request dot method is equal to post, right? I want to check if the method of form is post. After that, I want to receive the data from user form. So we have about 3 user input, which is first name, request dot post, then bracket fname, right? So I copy this, then I paste it 3 times. Yes, we have first name, we have middle name, and we have last name, right? We have last name. So another thing to make sure is that the name of data we receive by using Python view in Django matches with the fields specified in a form, right? This is my index.html. Here you can see input name is first name, fname, input is m name, middle name, and the name is l name. So make sure these input fields matches with the variables, or the variables and the data you want to receive from by using Django view, right? So after that, after receiving data from user and installing them in a variable, I will create a table instance which I can name it my, right? My is equal to I want to write the name of my our modules we created, right? Then after, here I'll have to specify that fname is equal to fname, then mname, middle name, is equal to middle name, then lname is equal to lname, right? So here we have successfully stored our data from user into instance named m. So here we can do something short, that m dot save, right? Yes, dot save, then in bracket, here we save a data. After that, we want to return http response data saved, right? If data are not saved, we want a user we want to return a form, we want to return a page so that user can refill the form and submit into a table, right? So else, I specify else is else return, I can say return render, return render bracket request. I want to request, then bracket, no double quotes, then index.html, right? So I save it. So make sure your source code is looking like this here, and on the top make sure you import your model before you use. So here I write what should I write? From .models import my user, then I save it. Here we can see our function is insert data. So in index.html we should specify URL is equal insert data, and make sure the action of your form is post, right? As here you can see, if request.method is equal to post, unless otherwise you won't submit a form or your data won't be processed, right? After saving this, let's try to insert data. So first name, let me say Motech, yeah, no, let's say Moses. Middle name Noel, and last name Motech, right? Then let me try to submit data. Oops, what's wrong? Our server is not running, right? So let me start a server. Oops, Python manage run server, and here we have forgotten, here we needed to here there is insert, we needed to, let me copy this, we need to specify the URL of views, right? So I paste this, then insert data underscore insert data, then the name of view is insert data, the name also is insert data, right? Then I save it. After that, let's refresh a page to insert, to fill our data once again, right? So the first name is Moses, the second name is Noel, and last name is Motech. So let's submit the data. Now we can see data saved, right? So let's prove if data are saved. So this is tech underscore my user, which is our table. So let me refresh here. Wow, now we can see these are the, actually these are the columns of our data. So we have successfully inserted data into models. Actually, this is an end of our tutorial of today, and I'll have, let me put a short summary of what we have covered in the lesson of today. Actually, we covered about 3 sections of this video. We had the introduction, which I explained how this page was built, right? And I told you that this is index.html page. It is built by CSS file, right? This one, and it is built by using background image. But this index.html page is rendered by a function named home, and this function is defined, is path of this function is defined in URL, which is this one, right? Then after I explained the important setting in setting.py, I told you should make sure that the static underscore URL is present. I told you that you should make sure that you specify the templates, right? I told you that you should specify the database you are using, right? Then after I told you that make sure you register an app you have installed. This is a tech. Then after I told you to import OS and make sure you link a template directory and a static directory. That was the part number 1 of this video. Part number 2 of this video was creating of a model. We created a model named my user, which had about 3 columns. After that, we created a Python view which will be responsible for receiving user data, user input, then save to our model we created, right? And this is the Python function named insert underscore data, and the path of insert underscore data function is defined in urls.py, right? Actually, that was the walkthrough of our tutorial. Then after we made a test, we inserted the data, then we proved if the data are actually inserted into a table by using DB browser for SQLite database. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like, put comment, share and subscribe for next video update. Thank you, goodbye, and see you in the next tutorials.
Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notification.